I can't get out.
Are you sleeping out here tonight?
I can't. I can't answer to that.
Fall over. Welcome back to Hidden Oaks Homestead. We're back in the garden and we're going to give you a little bit of a garden tour today. We expanded the garden quite a bit. So if you want to look at where we came from last year, we doubled, tripled, quadrupled the size of the garden really by adding additional raised beds as well as some in-ground gardening. So you can check out our gardening playlist for that to get an idea of where we came from, what we did last year, and what we did to expand this year. We are going to take you along and show you what all we're planting this year. And it's really going to be lots of greens, lots of peppers, and really focusing on what we eat, along with trying out some crops that are supposed to grow really well here, but we haven't really tried eating yet. So we're going to try out some new stuff and see how we like it, see how it turns out and how they grow in our ground and in our raised beds. And we're going to do some experimenting this year too. Our utility company just dropped off mulch, so we had to go and shovel some so that we can mulch our garden with it and protect our plants from drying out because, well, Florida, sun and heat. So we need to try to preserve as much water as possible. We grew a bunch of tomatoes last year in a raised garden bed. We are planting our tomatoes in ground this year. With Florida soil, there's a lot of amendments needed in order to plant in ground. So we're going to see how it goes. And we're going to try out both the raised planters as well as in ground to see what does better and how we can grow the most for what we want to eat. So follow along. Let's see how the garden turns out this year, and also let us know what you're growing this year.
Because I thought since it's a tiny hole, it has enough.
We're doing the cheapest tomato trellis there is. It's called the Florida Weave. All you need is some T-posts and some twine, and you just go back and forth in between the plants to keep them upright. A lot of what we're doing right now is trying to put as much in the ground as possible and experimenting this year. So what we're growing this year is going to be, hopefully, cucumbers, tomatoes, tons of peppers because we love peppers, kale, lettuce. So greens are super easy to grow. If you are a beginning gardener, I suggest start with tomatoes and greens because they are the easiest to grow, supposedly. We shall see how it goes this year. We're going to put some flowering plants in the middle as well to attract, obviously, pollinators, but also to try to do some pest control as well. So we're going to be planting some marigolds, some lavender, etc. as well. Some lemon balm, some peppermint to kind of keep the critters away as much as we can without having to use other methods to keep them away. have lettuce and kale in abundance, so we have plenty of greens every day. And we're gonna let some of those go to seed this year as well to try our hand at seed saving. I'm gonna get in trouble with Chip. He's gonna say, "Why can't you wear gloves when you garden?" And you know what? It's much more fun when you get dirty. One of my biggest tasks right now is keeping everything watered because we're in Florida and it gets hot. So we want to water first thing in the morning, and once a week is not going to cut it in Florida. So we do need to water every day. And with the bigger garden, it takes me about an hour each time to water everything. So one of the things that I wanted to do this year is install a system where I can just turn on the faucet and let it go. I'm gonna do it a little bit temporary this year because we haven't had time to really kind of trench the whole thing and put in a system. So I bought these soaker hoses from, where did I get them? Home Depot. And we're gonna try those out, see how those work. Those should do for this year and should do very well for us. And then next year, hopefully, we'll have enough time to actually put in a system for the whole garden. So that will cut down a lot on our time in regards to watering this thing and keep everything alive throughout the summer heat. It works! I would love to hear from you in regards to what you do to water your garden and what kind of systems you're using. I was thinking about PVC pipe and connecting everything that way, but let me know what you're doing and what's working for you, especially if you are in the same zone as we are. We are in 8B, and I would love to hear what you do to keep your garden alive throughout the summer. In addition to planting a lot of vegetables and hoping to establish a bigger orchard this year, we're working on beautification. So we invested in some azaleas, and we're just gonna work on beautification a little at a time. Ouch. The fire ants got me. It hurt. So I'm gonna call it a day. I've done enough digging in the dirt today. Nice relaxing activity. And we're gonna get back at it later this week and see how everything's going, check it all out and show you how everything is growing. This is it for us for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do enjoy our content, please consider subscribing if you haven't done so yet. Also check out our playlists in regards to gardening, cooking, baking, and our animals on our channel as well, if that is something that you're interested in. And we will see you in the next video.